right. Welcome in. Welcome back, folks. I'm going to just show my Twitter thread where I post the question, what's your number one biggest takeaway after blue and gold? Edition of the Always Irish Show. I'm literally just going to pull up my Twitter thread and read some of these responses and see where our fans are and if we're all on the same page, where people were coming from. All I did was, on the way home, pose the question, what's your biggest takeaway? So we're going to go through that. I'm going to show the thread, and we're going to get an idea together of where you guys are at. So happy to be here. Happy to have you here. Obviously, you can find the program on YouTube. Do it. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate it very much. Give the video a thumbs up. That ups me as well. Notifications on. That way you're alerted every time a new episode drops. I don't know why I got that accent, but it was fun to do. Twitter. Search bar, Always Irish Rat. Always Irish Inc. Emails, alwaysirishnd@gmail.com. Audio only anywhere you want me. You can locate me. Call in line 312-900-8815. You tell Johnny all you heard and seen at the Blue and Gold game. Fighting Irish Wire every day. Type it in your computer box, and then words come up about Notre Dame that I and others wrote. It's a beautiful thing. All right. This project's very simple. I was on the drive home last evening, warming up from the fun weather day we had. And I asked, what's your biggest takeaway? So quite simply, I'm going to just go over to Twitter on my screen and we'll go through this together. We'll see what you guys think. Let's see what you think. All right, here's the question. What is your biggest blue gold game takeaway? Let's go through this. Here's what we got. Bruce says, Hartman is all they say he was. John Monty, that I could not see the game. Peacock sucks. Yeah, I'm glad I was there and I didn't have to do it. Sam is the man. Mandate Common Sense says a quarterback that looks like a quarterback. I mentioned something like that in my post-game show, and it's unfortunate that that's like where our bar is. However, that's where our bar is. So I get it, okay? I get it. It's not ideal. We shouldn't be there, but I get it. Irish JTL, Hartman, Greathouse, Morrison, Thomas, Osbury are going to have a great season. So many freshmen showed up to play. And there is no QB competition. Definitely coach speak. I'm telling you, Freeman even said that it's going to be a competition after the game. And I think that has a lot of people going, what might really be going on here? Is it a mission to just keep him from not leaving? Like what are we doing? Go Tigers, manufactured QB competition. Shawn Michaels, Sam Hartman is him. Technical technician, I think you were vindicated with your Hartman take. Chipster, we're going to break the scoring record this year. Jay Lehman, going to be a good season. JP, ND88, Hartman controlled the offense. One play in particular, the TD to Salerno and the corner route. That wasn't his first read on the play, and he clearly made the progressions and got the ball where it needed to go. Yeah, it's seeing Hartman take some progressions, scan the field, 1 option, 2 option, 3 option, come back, like doing that comfortably with the appropriate time clock in his mind. That's all beautiful to see. It's just beautiful to see. Mirror puts up a statistical chart of Jaden Greathouse's high school career. Looked fantastic. As far as freshmen go, you couldn't ask for a better performance yesterday. It's beautiful. What else? MH. Buckner tried to throw another pick 6. Regison. Hartman is going to win the Heisman and a national championship. There's some positivity. Joseph says Buckner ain't it. And I don't want to hear it's just a practice. It's just a spring game. Yeah, I get all that, but come on, man. Throwing the ball at guys' feet and 4 yards out in front of him. And he's saying, I know he couldn't run a lot, but the kid's just not a polished passer. Charlie Gilmore. Hartman can make throws we haven't seen a Notre Dame quarterback make in some time. And here's the thing. It's one thing for the throws to be made. It's a whole different thing for the throws to be made and just to look like it's pretty effortless. Like it's not a struggle to make the right read and do whatever and then distribute the ball and it goes in a place where only our guy could get it or it falls incomplete. Nothing catastrophic happens. Like all of that. And we've been missing all of that. Even when we do complete passing plays in recent history, it's like a struggle and a miracle when it happens. It should not be that way. And Notre Dame fans' brains have been poisoned and watered down to the versions of offenses we've had that have not been real life, like not playoff real life. It's just so refreshing to see this all be new. But it's also a reminder of how bad we've been behind the 8 ball on this. Jeez. Michael Madden, Sam Hartman is QB1, and it's not close. Ty says Hartman is the real freaking deal. Joseph, he's an athlete playing quarterback, and I love him. Sam Hartman with a GIF, just saying that's him. Deuce, Hartman's quarterback 1. Greathouse is the wide receiver we have needed since Claypool. Let's see. Do we have anybody going against the trend? This is all going in one direction. Dallas fan Indy. The blue team was at a big disadvantage with the offensive line play, and it threw off everybody's performances. I want to just see good on good offense versus defense, a straight up scrimmage. Yeah, that, and we've talked about that. For fans, it would be much, much, much easier if it was all of your ones against all of your ones, all the ones on offense and the best wide receivers, the starting offensive line, all of that. And then you run it with Hartman and then you run it with Buckner against the ones on defense and all that. Then you know the offensive line plays the same for both and all that. You do have to account for those kind of things, especially with the lines. Having those mixed lines makes things very hard to judge because it doesn't take much for one weak link at the offensive line and whatever, and it all crumbles, and then the clock's messed up with the timing and all that. I get that. Nobody says Hartman QB1. Irish fan 76. There needs to be, here we go. I knew this was coming. There needs to be a competition for the backup quarterback position. So there's some people down on Tyler. Stand with us. QB1 is a stud. Peter down in Florida, I believe, says lots to be excited about. Irish Eyes 2020. We actually have a QB1. Okay. Let's see. What else do we got? Micah Costa. Great outlook for the upcoming season. I was a little disappointed in the run game in Minchie. Flores was a no-show. I predicted the blue, but Hartman and the gold team dominated. So as a whole, I look forward to the Irish lighting it up and the defense shutting teams down. That would be ideal. So I guess you could make the argument, and I've heard the argument, that the blue team maybe had a better wide receiver roster, but a weaker offensive line overall. And then maybe that had something to do with some of those struggles on that side of the ball. Again, I admit it's very tough to judge with these split teams. It is. So you got to look for the nuance in that sauce. Like you got to know what you're looking for and try and figure out what part of it looks bad because it's not Buckner's fault, but it's the line, like whatever. It's just hard. It's a spring game. It's just hard. Bobby Bleachers. Hartman is good. He's Heisman candidate. Endy will go as far as he takes them. Endy has a real shot at the ship. For me to feel that way, I got to see way more out of the wide receiver room overall. Okay. And I need to see a lot more out of the defense to feel that way. Shut down Ohio State or keep them to a reasonable amount of points and yards. And now we're having that discussion. I'll be happy to have it with you. But I do expect this offense to be a lot more electric, put up a lot more points this year. Time of the possession will go up, stretch games, having the ball more and keep the defense off the field. I think all that's happening. I think all that we're going to see. Kenneth Gipp, also Steve, double clutch and jelly is not ready. Sam the man, Tony Wozniak. We finally have a QB. What else do we got? Irish 2381. Love seeing Hartman look this sharp already, and definitely talent at the wide receiver position. Thomas looked incredible. If we could get decent pressure on opposing quarterbacks, our secondary will be excellent. Yeah, good points. Brian, I could care less about the outcome. It was clear that this ND team is loaded with speed and athleticism all over the place. I did enjoy the offensive play calling, formation, personnel, and just the way the offense looked on pre-snap. So there's a guy looking at some things at even like a higher level, because he isn't going on the path of this quarterback. He's kind of looking at it 50,000 feet overall, what it looks like. I could appreciate that. Matt Fannett, Hartman is legit. Greathouse is better than advertised. Mike Barber, we either have a really good receiving core or Hartman is making them look amazing. I'm going with both. I think you would want it to be both. You'd want it to be both. If you've got some receivers that have some swag to them, have some confidence, and can make the plays, and you have a quarterback who can get him the ball, beautiful. That's all I've been asking for, and I don't know why it's been so hard for Notre Dame to have. It really is a joke. What we've been living with has been a joke, okay? Not good enough, not close to good enough is what we've been living in on Notre Dame's offense, and I'm glad to see it change. Let's see, where was I? Throw leather baseball, I have to admit, Hartman was impressive. Ryan, the QB competition is over. Sam is the man. Some of us smart, observant folks are, this is from Daddy O. Definitely Sam Hartman. See, some of us smart, observant folks already knew who the more accomplished, polished, and better quarterback was. But unfortunately, some just like to argue, debate, and also be in denial. I get some of this to a certain extent because I don't know the psychological games being played behind the scenes to create a competition for the sake of competition, and also so a guy who doesn't win it doesn't leave. Like, I am not sure what all goes into that mix behind the scenes, but I can't take it all at surface level because that would be naive. It would be. It'd be naive, irresponsible as a football fan to just look at it and take everything at surface level and not try and look a little deeper what might be going on. I don't know. I just think that's responsible. Not like conspiracy theory stuff, but I think it's perfectly fair to wonder. I don't think it's a stretch at all, and I think it's perfectly fair to wonder as a Notre Dame fan, where's Buckner's head at? Where is this whole thing really at? What does he think? Like, I don't know. Just as a guy who has thoughts and feelings, I would wonder that if I'm Buckner. Oh, man, another year of me not being the guy. It's got to be frustrating for the guy. Got to be frustrating. It was refreshing to see the young talent step up and really contribute. You can tell the overall talent of this roster is taking a step forward. They all look confident and prepared. They know what is being asked of them, and they're being allowed to play fast and free. Some of that is what the spring game is for. But I do agree. Notre Dame's overall team speed is still improving. They're trying to get longer in certain areas. I did see some of that too. Bert Strickland, this team is on the doorstep. If things break our way this year, we have a chance. I haven't felt this way in a very long time. I want to be as excited as Bert, but I'm too worried about what's going on at the defensive level for me to get that excited. However, if the offense really does take this huge jump forward, that's going to help the defense. They're not going to be on the field as much to get burned or to have an issue or whatever. And we're going to score more points to build a more cushion and eat up more clock. That right there is going to help the Notre Dame defense. Properties by Ben. Hartman plus running backs equals lots of scoring. Here's one. The D line is improved. Again, I will wait and see if we get pushed around versus Ohio State or if we do the pushing around against Ohio State. Check back with me then. This guy says Buckner shouldn't even be QB2. Hartman is great. Hartman is ready. Give Hartman protection, and he'll put the ball where it needs to be. Eduardo Rodriguez, I could not see it, but it is clear that Estime is our best running back. The Gold team's running back had better statistics. Hartman had better protection. That offensive line is going to be strength all year. Yeah, hope so. At this point, if I my top two concerns on offense would be, while I believe there's going to be a big jump in the wide receiver efficiency and play, will it be by enough of them that it makes a huge difference? Like not by just one guy, but can you get two or three that really get to the next level, or a great house as a freshman you're not expecting to contribute being able to? Like that would be beautiful. So that's one thing I'm a little worried about, is just seeing that in game action, that all coming together, those receivers. But again, if Hartman's going to be sharp, make good progressions, get rid of the ball, put it where it needs to be, that's going to help the receivers too. It's going to be good. Joe just says, Hartman, Stephen P. ND is an air raid team. Not quite, and I don't want them to be that. They don't have to be that. Garrett says, Hartman is the guy. Very excited to see what happens. B. Hubner, Hartman is what we needed. Zach Cooper, Sam Hartman is that dude. Saint, Hartman QB1. Adam Chada, I don't know if this is a joke or not, but it says 0 halftime adjustments. I'm assuming that's sarcasm because it's the spring game, but that's something that I've complained about forever in real games. Dan McCarthy, running back room is set. Hartman's your QB1. Greathouse will definitely get minutes and maybe push Tyree off field. Osbury, Bowen, Ziegler, Anye, Ford, and Mickey all look good. I agree with you. Vinny, Sam Hartman's going to be the best QB we've had in some time. I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. Even all of the wins and the stats and the success that the Ian Book teams had of recent vintage, this was not that kind of quarterback play. That's not how they were doing it when they were winning with Ian Book. It was getting more out of limited less is how we won doing it that way. This is a whole different ball game. Whole different ball game. I'm excited about it. Yeah. Keith Tom Brady. We didn't blow a huge lead and lose. There you go. Despicable Al. Hartman is him. Mike Rose. Sam's the guy. GHS forever. Hartman. Sam Hartman is damn good. So is Greathouse. Man, a lot of love for Notre Dame quarterbacks. Everybody on a bunch of drugs. What happened? I'm not used to this. Irish Trending. Greathouse should have been a 5-star. Look at it this way, Irish Trending. Be glad he wasn't a 5-star, because if he was one when we were recruiting him, somebody would have offered him a ton of money. We could have lost him on the last day. Right? The way it went with our highly, highly thought of guys last year. Maybe we should be glad he wasn't. Dan McGuire. Hartman is the real deal, and Greathouse will catch a ton of balls in his ND career. Dauntless Dave says, yeah, I guess Sam Hartman is a fairly decent quarterback with one of those emojis. And so I just found that very interesting to go through. And what do you make of it? What do you make of everything that we just went through? The number one theme is the quarterback stuff. And I was impressed. I expected like good progressions and him to distribute the ball or whatever. But the efficiency, I didn't expect. 13 of 16 in a spring game. I don't care I'll take. That is just, it tells me what I need to know. Let's put it that way. Maybe that's a good way to put it. That tells me something I needed to know and wanted to find out. And so I just think that's great. I kind of left Blue and Gold feeling the way I went in. I thought the offense has a chance to take a real step forward, and I have questions about the defense. I'm not saying they are going to regress, but there are so many unknowns, unprovens. I am uncomfortable buying into that progression until I see it. And I don't want to be negative. Again, I always say this about this discussion. I don't want it to be negative. But when you don't have a body of work I trust, it's suspect until it isn't. I don't have to worry about it again. Check me after Ohio State. Not Navy, not CMU, not Tennessee State. Check me after Ohio State on this defense. What kind of push they're getting in the middle. Those linebackers settle down a little bit. Secondary going to be able to hold their own. All of the Ohio State. Let me know after Ohio State. We'll talk about it. See if we can make some grand conclusions after that. So I thought this was really fun to bring this up and have all the people just throw it out there and see what people think. Do you agree with the major sentiments? Are there major sentiments that you think should have been mentioned that people didn't mention? What do you make of this? Let me know. Put it in the comments.